People are emailing me asking me, Brandon, what about all these drones? I warned you this was their plan. The drones will communicate to the chip inside of you, and it's all going to be a one world system soon. They're desensitizing you as we speak. They cannot bring it out all at once, folks. They're going to bring it out a little at a time.
Dozens of unexplained mysterious drone sightings.
There's so many things in the sky right now. There's two behind here.
No clear answers and no one claiming responsibility. Concern is growing.
I mean, I can accept they don't tell us, but they didn't know?
Robert Wheeler was asked if the public is at risk.
And soon they'll be flying everywhere all the time as a police state monitoring you. But they couldn't just do it all at once. Just like a frog in a pot, that the heat is rising all around that frog, and he doesn't realize he's being cooked alive. He doesn't even realize it, folks. You're that frog in that pot.
When I tell you that reality is always stranger than fiction, I'm not kidding. Look at this shit.
Seeing that person commit the crime, even though that person is utterly innocent, that it becomes a planted memory. And so there's some really interesting research that we can plant false memories in the brain. And in a different context, one of the emerging areas that's really interesting in law neuroscience is pain detection. And once we understand the circuitries that cause pain, I guess the question is, could we then instill pain and use that in many coercive measures in the legal system as well? So.
Wow.
So, just on my Instagram Live a couple days ago, I was talking about new technology. They call it the voice of God technology. They can implant voices in your head and make you think you're hearing voices, trying to talk you into doing something you shouldn't be doing. Or they can make you question your own sanity by just putting all kinds of crazy shit in your head. On top of that, you just saw this lady say they can implant false memories into your brain and you don't know it's not real. Do you have any idea what they're planning for us, the human race? And these 5G towers, that's how they're going to pull it off. It runs all of this technology. They're blanketing you with microwaves. They're able to implant memories, false memories into your brain. They're able to actually slowly kill you by microwaving you to death. It's going to run Project Bluebeam, the holographic technology that's going to create the false alien invasion that will scare freak
all the scientific papers on transhumanism from DARPA, from the DoD, from the Army War College, everything talks about being able to control you through frequencies. And how they're doing it is they're using quantum dot technology, which has been around for quite some time. They're using self-assembling nanotechnologies, which are self-assembling, basically polymer-based hydrogels, like plastics. That's why you're seeing these really stringy, fibrotic, not even blood clots, but these are self-assembling polymers. They're fibers that are being produced in people's bodies. All the scientific papers on transhumanism.
This is the dark truth behind cell phones, and a lot of you aren't going to want to hear it, but you're going to enjoy knowing this information today because it might change your life forever. Cell phones are more than just cell phones. Their patented name is called the Nervous System Manipulation Monitor, which means that these phones are capable of using photons which can alter your subconscious state at any given time if you are unknowing to the device you are seeing the information from. It gets even more deeper than that. Okay, so not only can they manipulate our nervous systems, but they have been doing it from the starting point using the news and color spectrums, the red and blue color spectrums to be exact. And then they were like, okay, let's design cell phones and evolve them to the point where we can start manipulating people at any given time we want. And now look what they're doing. It's even more cryptic than that. You guys see the AI agenda, right? You see how AI is trying to act like humans? And you see how AI is regulating all of social media now. If they are capable of taking pictures of our faces every 5 seconds with our cell phones and listening to our words, this is the dark truth.
Before, I'm going to say it again. These 5G towers, they're not for internet and phone service. That's all a scam and a lie and a cover story for the Project Bluebeam technology, for the microwave weapon that it was designed to be, to zap you with frequencies and mess with your sleep and your health. This is not conspiracy theory. And by the way, those of you that want to throw out the word conspiracy theory, that immediately tells me how ignorant and asleep you are. You don't even know what that term, where it came from, or why they use it. It's simply to discredit whistleblowers, people telling the truth. So when you throw that term around, you just show that you're asleep and a sheep. That's it. So I'm going to show you this video because a lot of these are starting to come out now. These companies and these small mom and pop shops that fix your cell phones on a daily basis. When you take them in, they're broken or they need repairs or a new screen. These people that own these repair shops are now making videos about what they're finding when they take your phone apart. There is no 5G chip in these phones. They're not only charging you more money for the phones and making a huge profit, but it's not even got the 5G in it. That's why your service still sucks. After all these billions of dollars spent on marketing about the blazing fast speeds you're going to have. Check out the video.
I have two 5G phones in front of me. Right there is where the 5G chip is supposed to be. And right there is where the 5G chip is supposed to be. And again, I fix phones every day, so you can take this from a reliable source. There's not a single phone in Canada that supports 5G. There's not a single carrier in Canada.
I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. These 5G towers, they're not for internet and phone service.
It would be illegal in some countries to be at this level where we're at. We are surrounded by EMF towers, radio frequency. There were over 200 different antennas transmitting off of those towers.
Why does EMF affect your brain?
It's the microtubule frequencies that get into a dysresonance. So the frequencies that are coming in that are bombarding into our cells, our microtubules were meant to be in a symphonic resonance, in a perfect state of resonance. And that's how we're able to have that normal healthy function for neurotransmitter, communication, etc. And the reason why the EMFs will denature those microtubules and those frequencies is because it creates that dysresonance, and then the function is going to create a cascade, a ripple effect. So insomnia ensues, neurotransmitter dysfunction, we start to feel off, our mood starts to alter and change.
There's a good website called maprad.io, and you can put in your address and we'll show you all the towers around.
Even the birds don't like the 5G. They're pulling it apart. That one over there. Jesus. I don't like it, mate. I tell you, they're not dumb, the birds. They know what's happening. Good on them, mate. Yeah. God, they're going for it, aren't they? They're like, fuck the 5G.
At least 60 to 70% of the population got the shots. Out of that average, maybe 50% have these things in them. I'm not sure. And how they're going to do this is they're going to use a Starlink that they've wrapped around the planet, and it's going to send signals into these this nanotechnology that's inside the people. Now, I'm sure 5G is somehow also connected to this. It's all frequencies and waves and signals. Bluetooth, all of it. The other part had to do with my last video where they're going to use people's belief systems against them. Different religions, Jesus, God, Allah, whatever religion you are. I'm assuming that they're going to use this tech and this stuff to make people see their God, make them see what they believe in, and probably show them a lot of nice things. And it's all going to be lies. And I'm sure they're going to use Project Bluebeam, which has been around for ages as a conspiracy theory. And somehow it's so advanced now that they can probably show you whatever they want in the sky and different things. This is going to be huge manipulation on a large set of the population.
These radios are all 5G. These are older stuff. This is what actually gives you your cell service. But all these 5G, so these are like the brain. These tell it like how much to give and how much to not give, depending on the area. And these are like the tanks that hold all of the 5G. So this is half of the mixture, and this is the other half of the mixture. And when you put them together, it creates coronavirus. So then that gets to go through these tubes and out of these antennas and projects all over y'all. And I'm just up here to refill it. Also, if you get the vaccination, it makes it like 30 times worse. That's why I am unvaxxed. Because I'm the one who works with this shit. If I got vaxxed, I'd be dead already. But yeah, this is how we're doing population control right now. See, one of these is loose, so it's got a leak. So I've got to figure out which one of these is loose and tighten it back down too. These radios.
Watch the 5G, that is the real crime. Because you can send microwave directed 3 to 5G goes into the brain. They can, burst into your brain. They can paralyze you in rallies. You can't even think anymore. You have headaches. You have the Havana syndrome. You cannot think. You're down to earth. They can do what they want. And those microwave-directed weapons are not only in the 5Gs they have put and rolled out all over the world. It is also in the lamps in the street, and it is in other things that we don't even know.
What about the interaction of 5G signaling with whatever is in the vaccines? Is it a possible binary weapon that's being injected in people and can be activated through remote signaling?
Yes, of course, if you're not vaccinated, you didn't get this BioNTech. Pfizer called it BioNTech. It's bio-nanotech or bio-neural tech. You could, and mRNA is mode RNA. It's a computer program, and it is really about. I'll start with this. We are humans, and we are bioelectromagnetic. We have an electroencephalogram. We know that we have our brain functions with plus minus electricity, impulse, stimulus response neural network. They know that. They give a stimuli and they get a response. They have mapped the brain, the Human Brain Project, and also what Obama in 2013 has paid millions for the mapping the brain. They have already done that. So they can target your brain, but they can also target those who are vaccinated because they have oxide graphene and metal, chrome, nickel, aluminum in all vaccines. And then they have much more parasites, and it's all synthetic. It is nothing biological.
Just think what will happen to developing economies once it is cheaper to produce textiles or cars in California than in Mexico. And what will happen to politics in your country in 20 years when somebody in San Francisco or in Beijing knows the entire medical and personal history of every politician, every judge, and every journalist in your country, including all their sexual escapades, all their mental weaknesses, and all their corrupt dealings? Will it still be an independent country, or will it become a data colony? When you have enough data, you don't need to send soldiers in order to control a country. Alongside inequality, the other major danger we face is the rise of digital dictatorships that will monitor everyone all the time. This danger can be stated in the form of a simple equation, which I think might be the defining equation of life in the 21st century. B times C times D equals R, which means biological knowledge multiplied by computing power multiplied by data equals the ability to hack humans, R. If you know enough biology and you have enough computing power and data, you can hack my body and my brain and my life, and you can understand me better than I understand myself. You can know my personality type, my political views, my sexual preferences, my mental weaknesses, my deepest fears and hopes. You know more about me than I know about myself. And you can do that not just to me, but to everyone. A system that understands us better than we understand ourselves can predict our feelings and decisions, can manipulate our feelings and decisions, and can ultimately make decisions for us. Now, in the past, many tyrants and governments wanted to do it, but nobody understood biology well enough, and nobody had enough computing power and data to hack millions of people. Neither the Gestapo nor the KGB could do it. But soon, at least some corporations and governments will be able to systematically hack all the people. We humans should get used to the idea that we are no longer mysterious souls.
So to be clear, I think one of the things we're talking about here is that there are now weapons under development and developed that are designed to target specific people. Right, that's what this is, where you can actually take someone's DNA, take their medical profile, and you can target a biological weapon that will kill that person.
The first generation wireless 1G was voice. The second generation 2G allowed both talk and text. The third generation 3G, the internet, in a limited way. And today's technology, 4G, completed that digital migration. But if anyone tells you that they know the details of what 5G is going to become, run the other way.
But it is a weapon. It can be used to cause almost any symptoms of any disease. You can kill people. Their death wasn't caused by any virus, but rather it was caused by 5G. We've gotten used to using microwave ovens. They only did this in order to get us accustomed to microwave radiation and to make us believe that it's really good. But it is a weapon. It can be used to cause almost any symptoms of any disease. You can kill people. We don't even know if it's a virus because you can create these symptoms by using microwave radiation. You can create any symptoms of any disease, heart attacks, anything by using microwave radiation. In fact, Barry Trower believes that those first pictures that we saw from Wuhan when people simply keeled over wasn't caused by their death wasn't caused by any virus, but rather it was caused by 5G. 5G has been around since the 1970s, by the way. It's not brand new, but it's been around since the 1970s. As I said, you can cause any disease with it. You can use it for geoengineering, and it has been used for geoengineering. And that's why I believe, my team believes that 5G, microwave radiation in general, he points that out continuously. It's not just 5G, it's 3G, 4G, is extremely dangerous.
But soon, at least some corporations and governments will be able to systematically hack all the people. We humans should get used to the idea that we are no longer mysterious souls. We are now hackable animals.
The future of mind control, and the future being right now because these experiments are being done, is using gene editing tools.
I can create small robotic units at the nanoscale, can directly diffuse into the brain space, but their presence is almost impossible to detect. This amount of nanomaterial could, in fact, affect all of you.
Read from the living brain and right into the living brain.
There's a mysterious direct energy weapon that is being used, and it is causing permanent traumatic brain injury.
We have to get more information, and we got to tell the public what's going on.
The government has to acknowledge that this is happening to civilians.
It's almost that science fact seems stranger than fiction.
We can send instructions and information to an actual person from a distance with this kind of technology. to let another person control their actions, but that could be something that could be malicious.
The Army had it on their website called V2K.
It's not just a very disturbing high-pitched noise, but there might even be voices or a message, a continual message that people have been victimized by.
But if you cognitively model someone, you have a brain print, like a fingerprint, functional MRI that you can do at a distance over the earth. You have every human being's brain pattern. You can control 8 billion brains on the planet, potentially. Read them. It's worldwide.
You must consider the whole part played by electricity in nature. Human beings cannot go on developing in the same way in an atmosphere permeated on all sides by electric currents and radiations. It has an influence on the whole development of man. This life of men in the midst of electricity, notably radiant electricity, will presently affect them in such a way that they will no longer be able to understand the news which they receive so rapidly. The effect is to damp down their intelligence. Such effects are already seen today. Even today, you can notice how people understand the things that come to them with far greater difficulty than they did a few decades ago. Rudolf Steiner, 1924. Rudolf Steiner noted that in 1924, since then our atmosphere has become far more permeated with electric waves of widely diverse types. There's no doubt now that electric waves, electromagnetic forces, cause direct biological effects. There's thousands of peer-reviewed papers on this subject. There's no doubt about it. But what are these effects? How are they affecting us? What can we do about it? We're now at a stage where we're putting in what's called 5G, which is a special type of broadcast for high-density information transfers. And it turns out that this is the same frequency bands that are used in crowd dispersal weaponry.
We are living in an artificially induced state of consciousness that resembles sleep. Their intention to rule rests with the annihilation of consciousness. We have been lulled into a trance. They have made us indifferent to ourselves, to others. We are focused only on our own gain. Please understand, they are safe as long as they are not discovered. Keep us asleep, keep us selfish, keep us sedated.
The film you're about to see has no characters. If you spare a little of your imagination, it is a film to describe to you the effect of cymatic frequencies on matter. owes existence solely and completely to sound.
It's important to understand what the 5G is doing and what they say it's doing. We're told on the IEEE beamforming document that this technology cooked your eyes like eggs in World War II. And you all need to understand these are military weapons. These are assault frequencies. If you garner nothing more than that, that's what you need to know. It's microwave radiation warfare, is what this is.
All around me are familiar faces, worn out places, worn out faces, bright and early for the daily races, going nowhere, going nowhere. Their tears are filling up their glasses, no expression. Hide my head, I wanna drown my sorrow. No tomorrow, no tomorrow. And I find it kinda funny, I find it kinda sad. The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had. I find it hard to tell you, I find it hard to take. When people run in circles, it's a very, very mad world. Mad world. Children waiting for the day they feel good. Happy birthday, happy birthday. And to feel the way that every child should sit and listen, sit and listen. Went to school and I was very nervous. No one knew me, no one knew me. Hello teacher, tell me what's my lesson. Look right through me, look right through me. And I find it kinda funny, I find it kinda sad. The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had. I find it hard